When people look into becoming a pilot, it often feels like there are loads of different routes. But in reality, they fall into three main pathways. No matter which route you choose, you're completing roughly the same phases of training. What changes is how structured it is, how flexible it is, and how much it costs. The first pathway is integrated training. This means completing all phases at one school on a full-time, highly structured program. You make one decision at the start, and this organization takes you all the way through. The upside is simplicity and structure. The downside is accessibility. Integrated training is the most expensive option, often £100,000 or more, and it's usually full-time with little flexibility and large upfront payments. The second pathway is modular training. Modular training involves completing the same phases, but module by module, often at different schools. This flexibility is why modular training can be far more affordable and accessible. The trade-off is complexity. Instead of making one decision at the start, you're making decisions at every stage: where to train, which school, and in what order. There are over 1,000 flight schools across the UK and Europe, with huge differences in cost, quality, and outcomes. Many students choose based on convenience or incomplete advice. That's where things often go wrong. People can end up paying more than necessary, taking longer than planned, or limiting employability. Not because modular training is bad, but because it's easy to approach it without a clear strategy. Modular training works extremely well when it's structured properly, but without that structure, the flexibility that saves money can quickly create risk. The third pathway is cadet schemes. These are airline-backed programs that may offer sponsored training or conditional job offers. They're excellent opportunities, and if you're eligible, you should apply, but they're extremely competitive, so it's important not to rely on them as your only plan. For a quick overview, at Mentored Modular we combine integrated and modular training, providing you the flexibility of modular training, the ability to tailor your training to your life and your finances, whilst maintaining that consistent support, structure, and simplicity that you might get with integrated. What we do specifically can be broken down into two core areas: planning and mentorship. With modular training, planning isn't optional, it's essential. Instead of one decision at the start, you're making decisions at every stage, and those decisions directly affect cost, timelines, and employability. Our planning starts with an assessment. From there, we use data on flight schools all across the UK and Europe to remove unsuitable options. Schools that are overpriced, don't fit your profile, or don't make sense for that stage of training. Once that's narrowed down, our planning team maps out a structured pathway, deciding where each module should be completed, in what order, and why, balancing what works for you now with what airlines will care about later. That plan covers the full journey, from where you are now through to qualification, including applications, licensing steps, and key decision points. You will then have a one-to-one meeting with your mentor, explaining everything in detail, giving you the opportunity to raise any concerns and ask any questions. Alongside that, you're assigned a dedicated mentor, someone who's already been through pilot training themselves. Their role is ongoing support, helping you navigate decisions, deal with issues as they arise, and keep the training on track. If something changes or doesn't feel right, you have someone who understands the system and can step in. Our only incentive is building the right pathway for you. At its core, Mentored Modular exists to make pilot training more accessible by removing unnecessary cost, uncertainty, and risk from modular training.